Hey, hi, hello. It is me, Nuzzle, back for episode 2 of Caveblock. To start out with, this is me realizing that I have built the water wheel gear shift wrong and have decided to rebuild it, as well as making it more scalable. This took a surprising amount of time to do, as there are some limitations to what you can do when it comes to changing the speed with a cog-based gear shift. Eventually, I decided to go and craft a gearbox, which will allow me to rotate the cogs in a single block. After which I discovered that a single water wheel could not generate enough rotational energy to make my machines spin. Thus, I decided to craft a second big water wheel. Now, after that shabangle, the next agenda on my list was to make some dirt. After I realized how slow it would be to do it all manually, I decided to automate it, sort of. This automation would happen via botany pots. Essentially what they do is that they are able to grow plants and saplings in a small pot, and they grow kinda slow, but they can be left to do their own little thing while I go and do other stuff. This automation had the benefits of one, that I would be able to go make dirt and automatically make dirt, and another benefit is that I would be able to get logs, so I don't have to farm trees all the time. I also decided that I would upgrade it to a hopper botany pot to be able to put a chest underneath it, so I can store some of the stuff that I would not use immediately. And as I made a drawer to store the logs, I discovered that to be able to lock the drawers, I needed some gold. And this is what part of this episode will be most focused on. Now here I decided to make the market as a way to get some stuff. The market is essentially a place where you can get a bunch of different kinds of seeds and whatnot. I don't really have anything to comment about here, so I'll skip to where something interesting happens. Okay, so now I decided that instead of going for gold, I have decided to go into making some power. As I was looking around to see how I could go about this, I decided that for the time being, iron furnaces with a generator upgrade was the best way to go about this. This also made me realize that I'm going to need some more redstone, as well as other stuff. So I decided to make a farm for dust and sand. The farm relies on basically the same thing as gravel making does. It's just taking a bunch of millstones, putting them in a row, and then slowly milling down from cobblestone into dust and sand. This farm is not fully automatic and requires me to empty off the sand and dust into a sifter by myself. This whole thing is for making steel. I'm not quite sure why I wanted to make steel, as I didn't leave any notes for myself as to why I did. From what I could conclude, it's for making energy storage or some energy pipes, but it could also be that I wanted to make some more machines that required energy to use. Moreover, I decided to go for mechanism to make the steel. This was mostly because this was the first way I realized I could make steel and didn't look into other ways of making steel. After a bit of a while of this, I discovered that I in fact could make really much steel really easily by just taking a coal and right clicking on an iron block with it. This makes 9 steel per 1 coal, instead of having to use 2 coals to make 1 steel, I think the ratio was. I find this quite interesting, as this is a way that isn't automatic, but still is probably one of the better ways to do it early game. And for the episodes that continues, I will probably be doing this to get steel. And after going over some quests further down the line, I decided on this as the playthrough of this. This series will be something that I will continue to make, but the episodes will be much more sparse and not some mainstream series that I will like continue to making like every 2 to 3 days. And instead, I will be making some content for some other mod packs I like to play, that I'm currently playing a lot of. This will be noticeable next upload. Well, yeah. Have a great time. See you.